Hello, hi everyone. I am stopping in on my page. I haven't done a video in a while. Just wanted to stop by and let you guys know, um, ladies and gentlemen, I shall say, that you all know that I'm still working on the weight. Um, or for those who are not aware, that I'm still working on my weight for pushing for my double lung transplant. Excuse me. It's part of the pulmonary fibrosis. We do get a cough, excuse me, from time to time. Besides these jelly beans I'm trying to eat on, organic ones. I am still pushing towards that weight loss goal. And I'll tell you, when you're beginning to start losing weight, the beginning weight is always the worst, and the ending, kind of the middle is like okay. And as I said before, once I got to the end, I'm thinking, oh, 10 or 12 more pounds, I'm good. Well, that's what I thought, because I guess my body had froze up on me, where it had got used to a certain weight and felt like, okay. So, on top of the medication that I am currently taking, which is a lot of different medicines, but for one, we all know that the steroids will do a job on someone. But I managed to get excuse me, quite a few off, even though I'm on the steroids. But when I go in and out the hospital, even for a couple of days, they give you the steroids through the IV, and it really swells you up. So the water weight, it'll come off in due time, because I believe most of my last few pounds is water weight. But like I said, I was stuck at a standstill, and I trust in God that I'll get the rest off. I'm working on it. Matter of fact, I even started, well, I've done it before, but I started back doing liquids. A couple of days I would do just liquids, and I started to drink more and more water, and to make sure that I have a regular water that I would drink out of, from the water jug, or whether it's water bottles. And then I have a detox water also that I use as well. So I'm getting plenty of water in my system. And especially with pulmonary fibrosis or any lung disease, you want to make sure, that we're hydrated. So so we don't, face a hard time on that end. But it's getting urgent that, I spoke with my team of doctors a couple of weeks ago, and they're really pushing, me, rooting for me to get this weight off. And some of my medication also has been cut back, so that I'll have, one or two bottles of medicine that where I would take 3 or 4 a day. Those are kind of cut down to 1 or 2 a day, because they weighed out which ones can possibly put weight on you. So they're really, really, really working with me on the weight. And I know if it gets really, really too bad, that they probably would have to come up with another plan. So, but right now, I have to push myself a little harder, but with care, because excuse me, the last pounds are so that I have to lose. It can get very, very agitated, knowing that you've worked and done all you can, and here you are still at the same weight that you were, not the same beginning weight, but the same amount of, say, 10 or 12 pounds that I had to lose 3 months ago. They were going down. At one point I went all the way down to, I only need 7 more pounds off, and then it shot back up. Like I said, the medications, the steroids, and I've been eating pretty well as far as watching what I'm eating. So that's the part that will frustrate you. And then I found out from my primary that sometimes our brain will tell the body that, okay, this is the right, we're going to just stop at a standstill for the weight. May not be in that order how she said it, but I'm just kind of trying to remember bits and pieces about that. So I just got to push a little harder and keep my faith in the Lord, and just pray a lot over my health, over my body, over my lungs, and things like that. And I believe that God will work this thing out with me. So, and God has already shown me some things about my health as well. When you go looking at the research and what some of the doctors say, or even Google is like, oh, it's, you can believe some or believe that some of that stuff is not true, and then some of it is. So it'll get you all crossed up. So you got to know what you're doing when you're listening and reading all these people's stories. But according to some of the researchers on pulmonary fibrosis, I have outlived those, well, the early numbers that they used to have. I've kind of beat that out, thank you Jesus. But like I said, I'm ready to get an appointment with evaluation. And they are very strict. You don't get an appointment until you get to the weight goal that they suggested. And I guess most patients get a letter from them once the doctor sends the paperwork over. And I did receive a letter from a couple of transplant companies. I'm sorry, transplant centers. Think about my oxygen company. A couple of transplant centers, they're connecting with me, and they're also was keeping progress of my weight loss as I go. Like say I lose at least 8 to 10, they'll send that over to them and let them know, okay, she's working on her end or whatever. So they're pretty much, noticing that I've been working hard. So we'll see how that goes. And also so glad that I made it out of the storm. Hurricane Irma was here in Florida, so I made it out. I lost some power and things like that, but that can be restored. So thank you to the Almighty above that my family and I were safe. It was very scary, to know of a hurricane was going to hit, especially when they showed us parts of Harvey from over in Texas, and it was a mess. So thank you Jesus that I survived, and I know I already have enough on my plate now. So Lord, thank you Jesus. It's always good to keep the faith and tell God thank you, because he works in mysterious ways. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end my video, and I will be back probably when I get another few pounds off so I can celebrate with the next video. Thank you all, and God bless you.